said, we've got Joe Lanteri, who's the executive director of the Cheetah Rivera Awards and founder of the NYCDA Foundation, Stephanie Pope, a celebrated Broadway performer with over 10 shows to her name, including Chicago Pippin and Fosse. Unbelievable. Okay, so let's really just peel back the onion. Let's take it back to the beginning. What are your earliest memories of dancing or performing or wanting to be on stage?
I grew up in New York. I grew up in Harlem, and I am the tallest of 3 girls. I'm the youngest, but the tallest.
Okay.
So I know that my mom wanted something for me to do and not be ashamed of my height. And she knew nothing about dance, but she'd heard the Dance Theater of Harlem. It had the name Harlem in it, it must be okay. So next thing I know, she signed me up for classes there, and those doors opened, that garage door opened, and it was a whole new world, that I was entered into, and my life was changed. But a whole new world opened up. From there, I heard about scholarships at the Allen Ailey School, so I went downtown, and that's where, at the time, it was in the Minskoff Theater building, so I discovered Broadway, and I thought, oh, okay, this is something. So, yeah.
But you had those light bulb moments when you were like, this is it.
When I saw these gorgeous dancers that looked like me, I realized it was possible. And so it just opened up a whole other world for me, yeah.
Okay. And Joe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that story. I mean, honestly, I grew up in a town about the size of this table. My parents are immigrants, didn't speak English. My sister came over as well. So I was very sheltered as a kid. And my beginnings of coming out in that way was, standing up and reading in school, in grade school. And then eventually, by the time I got to the end of grade school into high school, got into a little bit of doing the high school musicals.
Okay.
And that was the bug. And so eventually I got to play Jesus in Godspell.
No, you did not.
And that was it for me. And that really was it for me. So I was a very academic kid.
Okay.
I thought that was the way I was going. And then by the time you get the taste of that,
the bug.
Yeah, you get bit. And I had never learned any choreography. I didn't start at 8. I didn't really take class until I was in college, but I could do choreography. I could pick things up.
Yes.
So it stuck. I never imagined to be a dancer because I was really more of a theater person.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And I mean, Randi,
Well,
even though you don't
I
perform
don't do
like
it,
them,
yeah.
I mean,
I started when I was 3-4 years old.
at the piano.
Piano and dance.
Okay.
I went to June Clare Dance School, and I think if I had a different kind of push in my life, I probably would have been on stage. That is still my passion, and I sort of took a little circle coming around, and instead of on the stage, I get to I suck it in wherever I go, and I love it, and I love being around the energy of the newness of the great dancers that are coming up and their passion and seeing it, and I live vicariously through that.
Joey, like you said, your parents were immigrants. How do you think them taking a chance and coming to this country and making those sacrifices shaped you as a person?
Wow, tremendously. I've been back to where they're from. I mean, my parents grew up with no running water. My parents grew up more or less like most people's grandparents. So when you think of the courage it takes with no money, no language, very little education, because that time, with all due respect, women didn't go to school. They were sent to the convent to learn to hang out with the nuns all day, to learn, it sounds like a good time, to learn how to sew. So my mom was a seamstress. So, but my greatest gift from my parents are my values and my work ethic, because I watched them have to work multiple jobs just to make things happen, and that has rubbed off on me.
I mean, Stephanie, it seems just from when I read about you and just seeing the things that you post, you can just feel how the love and the closeness you have with your mom. And I'm just wondering if she also sort of had a piece of helping this all come to life, a hand in what what you chose.
Actually very indirectly, because like I said, she really knew nothing about the arts, but she just wanted to find something for me to do to keep me busy and to keep me feeling good about myself. So she has learned a lot, throughout the years. but she's always been there, always supportive. I mean, she raised 3 girls on her own.
I mean,
You know, at a time when, and raised Catholic, so that was a no-no to
There
be
you go,
divorced and all the things. So yeah, she's been like with me every step of the way, and thank goodness she's still here.
of course.
Oh, I'm so lucky. Really,
And
so.
I mean, you just said, Randy, like if you had had a different type of push, that maybe things would have been different. Like, how do you think like your parents or grandparents?
I
like,
think
your
my
closer
parents were
grandma-
more like they already were there, you know, so they wanted me to be in, you know, do better in reading, writing, and arithmetic. I was still an honors student, but that was where my focus should be. What are you doing there? Like, what's that, you know? I don't think they understood. We went every single weekend. It was either a Broadway show or an opera or a ballet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My grandfather was the editor of the New York Daily Mirror. So if you were on the newspaper person, you got tickets to everything. I went to every radio, Ice Capades.
You had the hookup.
Right, I had the hookup. and the best seats. But I caught the bug that way. But from the time I was little, I was performing in piano, so it was a different kind of bug. But when we did school plays or whatever, that's what I really wanted to do. You know, I did.
What would you say is your teaching style when you're working with, you know, somebody that's green and like up and coming and, you know, just a young new performer?
That is a really good question. I think I try to help young dancers find what is unique about themselves and embrace that, as opposed to trying to be what they think somebody else wants them to be. Walk into the room, walk into this space owning your authenticity and change somebody's mind.
Yeah, I love that.
I agree with that, and I try and do a lot of that as well.
You do.
I also try and empower them to realize that they have, especially because we're talking about young people. You're talking about the opportunity to shape a young person, regardless if they go on to dance or not. That they can really define their own destiny, but they need to be made to feel confident about that. And that's my favorite thing about teaching, approaching it from a positivity. You can do this.
Yeah.
You know.
And I feel like in this industry, I'm assuming a lot of people come in wanting to just fit in and be like this dancer or be like this Broadway star, and it's probably important to be like, no, you don't have to be like.
Well, that's the problem with social media.
Well,
Yes.
that's
Also because I call it passive aggressive bullying, because they look at something and they think, I'm supposed to look like that, or I'm supposed to get that many likes, or I'm supposed to get those sort of reactions. And it really is detrimental to a young person who has goals to think that that's what they're supposed to do. And you're so right. It is about just focus on what you have. We all have something unique and special about who we are and what we bring to the table. And when you really focus on that, your path becomes very clear, because you're not distracted by all those other things where you're trying to compare yourself with everyone else.
And Randy, I mean, even when you don't know that you're teaching. I mean, like, you're my family, but like I feel like you're constantly teaching me. And I've seen you teaching at your atelier. Like, what would you say your style is when you've got like an intern or like someone new that wants to be in your industry? Like, what would you say?
I have two sides of me. Because remember,
Do share.
I love to teach, but being under the stress of business, it's very different when you're trying to get, you know, things done and accomplish and make it work. I think in a teaching environment, it's very different to teach in an environment that's all you're doing is teaching. I'm trying to run a business and at the same time teach it. It's hard.
It is hard, but I've seen you in practice. Like,
Yeah.
you're very gracious with
I
stopping,
try.
even in like the craziest, most stressful moments.
Yes.
No.
Because
Has to be learned.
it's my obligation. If they don't understand something, how do you expect them to do it if they don't even understand the task in which they're doing? So you have to. I just get impatient after it's like the second or third time you explain it and you want to go, I need to move on. Next. Yes. Yes.
Take the notes.
Right.
That's big.
Yes.
As a business owner, that is challenging, because you want to give. I like to pour into people, but it takes time.
Yes.
Because that means you're trying to, and then everything else has to stop, or everything has to slow down, because you have to take that time. And not that you don't want to, you definitely want to, but you're also in the midst of trying to get things done and moving on.
Yeah.
So you're hoping you have someone that can learn by
Right.
just osmosis and being, and literally by shadowing and being
Yes.
in the room and, you know, all of that.
It also gets tricky these days because sensibilities, everyone is so sensitive.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
And this is,
Did I
Can
open
we
a
talk
can of worms
about
with-
that?
So it's hard to find the balance between encouraging someone, wanting them to do better and not having them feel like, they're,
Yes.
they're being put upon.
Well, you're always
or,
stepping on eggs because you're always like, I know I was, but yes, I am. Like, okay, like, it's just different. It's also a different generation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Well, it's a different
definitely
time.
think because of the time, because of the phone,
Yeah.
and everything, the sensitivity and all this, and the me, and
Yeah.
here, it's a different. We never had that.
No.
But it's interesting in all
Ever.
industries,
Yeah.
right? We
yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Well, even like parenting, like I feel like I'm like, do you know what I had? Like my mom said, do this way. You do.
You
once
never questioned
Yes,
it.
there's no question. Just do it.
Right.
Yes, it is. It's a different time.
Yeah, it's a very different time.
Joe, you said that one of your pieces of advice that you've given to young performers is to invest in yourself, sort of piggybacking off of what you said before. Can you talk a little bit more about like what that means?
Investing in yourself for me, speaking to a younger group, and I work with dancers from, in New York it's about professionals, but on the road, my workshops in New York City Dance Alliance, it really is about dancers that are ages 8 to 18. To me, investing in yourself is finding a program, a network, a community. The community is the key to me, where you are building your network, you're building your dance family. That's the best part of dance. It's a choice, though. You have to make a choice. Nobody goes through dance as a soloist. So the way I find you invest in yourself is you pick the right school. Perhaps it is a college program, which is not for everyone, but doing something that you know that you are actually investing in your education, your personal growth, and obviously your training in whatever your select field. In this case, we're talking about dance. Because I think sometimes it's all guided by a dream.
Totally.
I'm going to work really hard, and I'm going to show up, and they're going to be waiting for me at the audition.
way.
Yeah, that's just not the way it works.
I mean, it does in the movies.
And it works for, and for some people, because I know some 19-year-olds that, at 22, they're on their 4th Broadway show. I know that person. But that is really the
But isn't that
exception.
exception?
That's the
That's not
exception.
most of them, and that's
So
what's so
continue
sad.
to invest in yourself, build your skills, mature, grow up, life skills, go get work, put something on your resume. Don't sit here and wait for Wicked to call, because you need to get a gig.
Yes.
Go get a job.
Correct.
Put it on your resume.
Correct.
Right.
It all means something. Stephanie, what advice do you give, impart on your students, or have you been asked? What advice do you have to somebody that's trying to make it in your industry?
It is very interesting when I work with young people now, because it is this mentality of, if I don't become a star in a year or in 6 months after I graduate
Now.
I'm gonna go home.
Yes.
Which is really interesting to me to hear a young person say that to me, and kind of sad that I don't know what's being taught to young people, that they think that if they don't become famous in 6 months or a year, that it's time to pack it up. So I try to encourage them to understand that this is a process. This, you first of all, you have to define what is success, right? For me, success is longevity. It's not about being famous to me, but everybody has their own definition of it, right? So you have to decide for yourself what's important, and then just do the work to make it happen. And here's the thing, you just keep doing what you love, and then opportunity will present itself and you'll be ready. Right? If you just kind of wait around for opportunity, you're not going to be ready when it shows up.
See, I say
Yeah,
that. Don't
that's
chase
okay.
it.
Yes.
Do the work.
Yeah.
Right.
You're speaking right from my playbook. Right from my
why we get along so well.
Truly, it's true. Right from my playbook. Because if you do the work, stop chasing it. Do the work, and it'll start to come to you, and you will have so much more joy in the process because you know you've focused on the work.
Yeah. I like that, the longevity. That's going to
Longevity.
stick with me,
Correct.
because I think it's like when something new and exciting isn't happening, I'm just like, no, you want to work and be successful for like a long time, and not just have
Correct.
that big moment and have it be over.
And it's not, it's not anyone's fault. We have So You Think You Can Dance, we have
Right.
American Idol, we have The Voice,
Yeah.
we have all these things
all
that
about
young
the
people are
moment.
watching, and they think, I'm going to bag groceries today and be Kelly Clarkson tomorrow.
Right.
But all the people who didn't make it on that specific show, all of those, where are they?
Or even those that
Yeah.
do, that have the success, and where are they?
Right, and where, that's what I'm saying.
You know, like
How
you
many
say,
of
so you
those
think you can
stars who
dance.
won?
That has derailed, I think, so many young dancers. Where are they now?
Yeah, where are
Who
they?
won?
That's
Who
what I'm
won?
talking about.
I don't know. Who
Yeah,
are they? Where,
exactly.
where are they?
Right.
And some of the ones that didn't make it or lost or something, like look at like Jennifer Hudson.
I was going to say
She
Jennifer
didn't make
Hudson.
it.
She
doing
made it.
fine.
She's doing just fine.
Do you have advice that you often give to young people that are coming in to work with you?
Well, it depends on what kind of position.
Right.
I think you have to work hard, and I think that's a really important thing. And listen and try and learn. And I think, like you said, they come out of school and they think they're going to be Yves Saint Laurent in the next, year or two, or have that designing job or they want and whatever. It's not realistic. Or they come to the studio and I'll say, go get wool crepe, and they don't even know what I'm talking about, and they're graduated.
Yeah.
How do you not know the basic tools? And some people just don't want to do that work to really learn that. So, and a lot of different personalities and people pass through the door, so it's hard to say. But I don't know. I really don't. I think it's
challenging.
It's very challenging, and it depends on the individual who's crossing that threshold. Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, even with my daughter, who I love, but I had, of course, your child is going to become a dancer, and the thing. But I remember when I was growing up, like I had pictures of feet on my wall, from a cut 'em out from Dance Magazine, and I would put a dance magazine. She'd be like, I can't, she had no interest whatsoever, and then you sort of realize. You have to have that passion for it, and if someone is not interested in figuring out what this fabric is, well, maybe that's just not their journey, and they're going to have another wonderful journey, but it might not be this.
Right, they want to skip to the end and not do all, like you said, the work in between. How do you get there unless you really know how to do it or what you're talking about?
Do you guys have a moment that you remember in the come up that was like I've arrived moment where you're like, this is like, you just remember feeling it and just knowing like, wow, this moment is so special. Like I am succeeding in what I wanted to do.
I will say that having the opportunity to work with so many amazing choreographers throughout my career, that's been something that I look back on and I go, wow.
Do you have a favorite? I know you. Do you have a couple of favorites?
It's like
Do you have like 3 or 4 favorites?
Well, I have to say Bob Fosse, of course. It was the very first out of the box as far as Broadway was concerned. Prior to that, I worked with Michael Kidd, who was extraordinary. So I've been very fortunate, very blessed. But I got to spend a lot of. I don't know, significant time with Mr. Fosse, and he taught me so much. So
Must have been surreal.
In hindsight, right? When you're in it,
you don't. It's just what you're doing, right?
Realize, right? But in hindsight, you go, oh my goodness,
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you've all arrived. Okay. Okay. Do you have a fashion moment or an outfit or a costume that you put on that you were like, oh, this is everything right now?
You answered that one.
Oh, did you?
I don't know that I have that. I like this. But I say I'm putting on a costume, because I know how to do this. But I'm going to be in jeans and a t-shirt. Or if you see me at home, I'm in jeans and a t-shirt.
Man after my own
But do
heart.
I know how to make this happen if I have to? Yeah, this is in my closet.
Okay.
Better than most, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Right on.
I think you have to, and also you get to a certain age also where you have to present yourself like a professional, right? And I think that's part of the gig. So I know how to do it, but do I think that that's part of my daily life? Okay. No.
And you've said in the past, I feel like there was one award show that you wore some dress that you felt like.
Yeah, the past Tonys. I fit into a dress that was like from 1980, whatever. It was one of my favorite dresses. I put it on, and I went, oh my God, I look great. I love the way I look. And anybody who knows me, there isn't a second that I say, oh, do I look all right? I feel fat, I feel this, It's just the normal whatever. That was my moment.
Do you have one, Steph?
No? It's interesting because I feel like because I spent most of my life in the theater, I've always had designers, whether it's costumes, mostly costumes, Patricia Ziprot and all these amazing people. I never developed the ability to kind of pick it out on my own. Like it was always sort of, okay, this is what you're going to wear. This is what you're going to wear, you know. So I really never developed that.
I disagree because you knew when we were talking about
I know
clothing.
it looks good on me.
Yes, well, that's half the battle. That's half the battle.
Still working
It was great.
She came for a fitting and sent me a picture. She had been here 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, she had been here 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I get a picture
Look at her.
of
I know
this.
exactly
Of
how
this.
her shape,
The
but-
very first thing was this that I put on, and we all were like, okay, going home.
And that's what made me go, I'm wearing this jacket when I come. Because I think I could be wrong. I think I'm the only gentleman that's ever had the opportunity to sit on this couch with Thorn amongst these two beautiful roses. So I had to represent.
Do you have a favorite piece of clothing or accessory or shoe that's in your closet?
Anything black.
Okay.
Leggings. You know, when I'm with a designer, I always feel like I have a very funny story. Do you mind if I tell you?
Please,
I was actually at a dinner with Robert De Niro and all these people, and someone asked me who my favorite actor was, and I said Kevin Bacon. And the whole, there was like quiet, and everybody looked.
Wrong answer.
I know. And then he said, "Oh no, he's a good actor." You know. So I always feel like, but yeah, I'll put on a pair of leggings,
Okay.
or easy peasy.
No, I don't have that. I really don't have that. I mean, I have a black jacket, which I just gave to her because she wants a tailor to copy it because of the fit.
Okay.
And I will go to that if I'm quickly throwing in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and I'm going to wear a blazer just to, and some boots. I'll go to that. But I just gave.
But he's a fashion person. Because I've been with him shopping. He, definitely a fashion person and has that sensibility and knows way better than that he's saying. He might be more comfortable and loves being in a t-shirt and jeans, but he definitely rocks anything he puts on.
I'll take it.
Do you have a fashion icon or someone that you've always looked up to or you really admire their style?
Back in the day, it was Norma Kamali.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
obsessed with Norma Kamali.
Yeah.
My friend Taylor she's got one of her coats. It's it literally looks like a sleeping bag, but somehow it's chic.
Right. She's still around quite strong. I mean, she's still designing her line.
Yeah.
She's brilliant. I think she really is quite brilliant.
What about you, Joe?
I don't have that for me personally, but I do have someone that every time I see, I go, wow, and that would be Charlize Theron. Who ironically now has a dance studio in Los Angeles.
it.
And she came to one of our events, baseball cap, t-shirt, jeans, and
She might be
she
one of
looked like $1 million.
She might be one of the most beautiful humans on the face of
Yeah.
the earth. Okay, and I mean, you've been asked this question before, but
Well, she's my fashion icon, but I resonate with the period of Dior, Balenciaga, back in the 50s and the 60s, even the 40s. I just love that old world elegance, which I think we sort of slipped out of, but I still love that. And I still try to bring that even in my atelier. I do. I try and do that.
well, you are all fabulous and you're not going anywhere, but we are here at Shine, this pop-up, and I think it's time to show some of Randi's beautiful designs.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You want to talk about
Yeah. What's the price? And we go, $10,000, $20,000, whatever, or even it's $8,000. They go, what? Huh? They're looking to spend $500, $300, at the max. And I've always wanted to do that. I always wanted someone come along like LVMH, come and take me up so I can make all these collections so everyone could, get my sensibility as a designer or whatever. It never happened. So I did it for myself. So I decided to make some of my shapes and put them in shiny sequins in beautiful colors and have them at an affordable price. So that's how this happened. And when I got offered this pop-up here, I said, what better thing than to make this all about Shine? And that's how that happened. Oh, by the way, Shine. Hello. This shorts and top. Shine, this gown. Here we have a two-piece, the Noah top and the Joe pant. And this can be worn obviously separate, but this is a great top that you can put on with a pair of jeans and high heels and a clutch and go out for dinner. And the pant too, you can put a big oversized shirt or whatever, and just mix and match, or wear it like this and be outstandingly wow. So that's that. Janine's, yes. Well, one of the funny thing is, this color made me decide to use the sequins when I saw it.
Really?
Yeah, when I went to go look for fabrics, what I was going to do, and this color, I love orange, but this specific orange is so beautiful. So this halter dress is the same, but this one is belted, which comes separate. You don't have to have the belt if you don't want. But I just think this is about the color. And it just takes the black to a different level. Gives a little thing going on, straps and details, so you can look a little different than just a sequin dress. So that's what we try and do. And that's part of Shine. Thank you, ladies.
What do they mean to you? How did it come about? Talk about the foundation. Give everybody the scoop.
Well, Cheetah is the icon.
Obviously.
We know that. Stephanie has not shared with you that she understudied Cheetah in Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Stood by.
Stood by. Which is one step up. If you're not aware, yes, you can be home and then get the notice that you need to make it to the theater, right? We've all been in Cheetah's presence. She's a very special lady, very down to earth. Never thought much. She knew what she had achieved because she'd worked very hard for it, but she never put herself up on a pedestal. And I think the awards reflect her love of dance, her love of community. It's one of the things that she was always most grateful for. That was the call I'd always get the next day, or we would, at the after party, we'd be in a little corner and she would just grab me by the hands and she just loved the feeling in the room, which is one of the things I'm most proud of, that it really speaks to the dance community and it speaks to the positivity of people supporting each other.
Yeah.
Which gets lost. Sometimes that is not how the community is characterized. And that's a choice. You don't have to be that way, but I feel right now it's a good time. And these particular awards bring that out in people because there's no other awards that celebrate dance in the same way.
Yeah.
Is that amazing?
No other awards pick out an outstanding dancer. No award talks about the ensemble. Yes, we do recognize choreographers in other awards. So it's very special. It is very special.
And the foundation.
Well, the foundation came about based on the work I was doing with dancers. My life has always been, as a teacher, it's always been really about creating opportunity for people. And I am very well connected in the Broadway world as far as casting and choreographers, as well as the company world, artistic directors. And so I've been blessed to be able to introduce dancers to different parts where they fit best. And at one point I thought, well, what else? And in 2010, I started a foundation. Because I am about investing in yourself. And I find that there are a lot of dancers that would take that step, but they realize that they might be saddled with a tremendous financial burden at the end. So to date, I'm proud to say our foundation has given back $5 million in college scholarships.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I appreciate that. At $5 million. And we talk about the evolution of your life and journey and longevity and all of that. This was not part of a plan, but it presented itself. And so I really feel like this has become my purpose. Like God takes you to that place where you're doing what you're supposed to do. And you have talents in many other ways, but you go, this is really what I'm supposed to do. Because if I have the opportunity to impact a teenager's life in a positive way, how do you pass that opportunity up? So,
Unbelievable.
And saying that, do you mind if I bring up, okay.
It's your show.
It's your world.
It's your show.
But I'm living a little bit vicariously in this world too, and it brings me so much joy, and I do get attached to people. And there was a student that was awarded a scholarship from
Our foundation.
the foundation, who I became close to through meeting, and I'm also in awe of her talent, and I'd like her to speak a little about her experience. That would be really nice. I think you would want to hear it. Zoe, come on up.
Okay, hi Zoe, it's my turn, and so happy to be here. I was another one of Randi's events, and these are just so special. I love the intimacy and all the passion and love we have for art and life. And I'm so forever grateful for Joe Lanteri because, yes, I was a recipient of a college scholarship. And to kind of piggyback off of what's been spoken about tonight, it's interesting because the night I received the scholarship, my mind and my heart wasn't wanting to necessarily like win a scholarship. It was actually wanting to like maybe place for the dance competition that night, right? Like at 18, you're like, I want to be the winner of the dance, you know, a trophy, platinum winner. My parents, meanwhile, in the back were like, the scholarship. So I think it's interesting because it shows that you are put in the right place at the right time. And I was maybe not as excited that I didn't win first place that night. But what I won instead was first place for my future. And so, wow, like literally every time I talk about it, I get chills, I get emotional, we're getting dramatic. But it's such a gift to this world. So I really genuinely am so grateful for that. It has paved my life and career forever. So any support and love for Joe.
Tell them what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Tell them what you're doing.
Tell them what you're doing. Listen to the voice.
Okay, so I attended Marymount Manhattan College with that scholarship here on the Upper East Side. Did the 4-year dance program, got my BFA in ballet. And then Carson's Dance Company was actually hosting their summer intensive. And so I just kind of was like, all right, it's at the school, might as well stay here for the summer and dance. And that first week, my heart, everything was like, this is me, this is what I love. And I did the summer intensive 4 years through college. And then right as I graduated, there was a spot for me. And so I joined the company. And I'm proud to say that I've been there 10 years now as their principal dancer. And I've loved my career.
Okay, you guys give me a hug.
Go to the Joyce, tell them go to the Joyce Theater.
Yes, the Parsons Company is doing its gala on May 13th. I will be there. So yes, and they're in residency at the Joyce for 2 weeks. And Zoe has paid me back the scholarship multiple times because I do not ask her to do those testimonials.
I do.
Dari's here, Abby's here, Kaya's here. So this is about really investing in these amazing humans that are destined to do great things. And I'm so proud of what our people go on to do. So many of our dancers right now are the dance captains of their Broadway show, or the rehearsal director of their company, or the veteran poster child of the company that they dance for. We have another artistic director here from Complexions Contemporary Ballet who can speak to the fact that so many of our dancers have gone through his doors as well, and we've been connected for years. So these beautiful ladies are on that same journey. Go, ladies, go. And so I just say that again because it feels like you're talking about investing in dance, and to me it is so much bigger. You're talking about an entire generation of people that are going to be the leaders, and they're going to change the world that right now needs some change.
Yeah.
And so we're raising these critical thinkers. That's where the invest in yourself comes from, because as you said, anybody can get a gig. And I use longevity. This is odd how you were speaking my language. Anybody, you can all get a gig, but can you shape a career? You know, can you shape a career and sit on this couch years later and continue to talk about how dance has impacted your life and how you've given back to it?
But as soon as I was receiving college scholarships, that's when I knew that like I had a place in the dance community and that I could continue on even though I never won the trophy. That night I was also awarded a full scholarship to the Ailey Summer Intensive, which had never happened because of COVID and it canceled everything, but that did happen, it was awesome. And yeah, now post-grad, I'm a year post-grad and I'm doing all the things a New York City dancer does. I recently performed on SNL last year. And yeah, just auditioning and finding my footing post-grad.
Amazing.
Hi, I'm Dari. I also graduated from FACE BFA program in 2022. I have been an NYCDA child my whole life, so just full circle now we all work together, so it's just so amazing to, I feel like, see the younger generation and see where things are headed.
All of 22 looking at the younger generation.
Thank you.
The younger generation.
I recently just finished my first season with the Rockettes in the ensemble.
My name is Abby. I, like Zoe, went to Marymount Manhattan College. Being awarded a scholarship from the foundation was truly life-changing. I mean, both, of course, financially and just like my friends were saying, like it's a way to like help you believe in yourself a little bit more. It's just that little piece of validation that makes you go, yeah, I'm on the right path. I do have a place in this world, in this thing that I've worked so hard for. So that was just like so beautiful and so rewarding in and of itself. And the experience I gained at Marymount was really wonderful and life-changing, and it exposed me to so many different styles of dance I didn't know, so many different people I didn't know. So it was really lovely to kind of gain those experiences and then see where that took me, like in my professional career. I'm 5 years graduated now. Wow, I graduated in 2020. So it's been really cool to like find my way in this dance world and see how those connections that I made in college and those connections that I made at NYCDA have kind of circled themselves back. I've spent a lot of time teaching kids and working for New York City Dance Lines. It's the perfect opportunity to give back. It's so full circle, and it's really rewarding to work with the younger generations and be a voice that shapes the way that they see themselves and the way that they connect to dance and be a part of this community.
Beautiful.